Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about a hidden trap in your mind. This trap is secretly stopping millions of people from learning English. Have you ever wanted to start a new habit, but you stopped because you saw someone else fail? Maybe you look at your older brother, your friend, or your co-worker. You see that they spent money on English courses, bought books, and studied for months. But in the end, they still cannot speak English smoothly. They still make mistakes, and they still look confused when a foreigner talks to them. When you see their lack of results, your brain automatically plays a trick on you. You tell yourself, look at them. They are so smart and hard-working, but they still failed. If they cannot do it, then I definitely cannot do it. You automatically assume that their bad result will be your exact destiny. So, you choose the safest option. You do not even try. You let someone else's story write the final chapter of your own potential. But let me tell you something incredibly important right now. You are making a huge mistake because you do not see the full picture. You only see the surface. You only see the final score on a test. You do not see what they actually gained during their struggle. You do not realize that while they were trying, they were building something invisible. They were gaining priceless experience. They were training their willpower. And they were sharpening their mind. In this video, we will look at why you must never project other people's results onto yourself. We will share a moving story about two people who looked at the exact same failure but made completely different choices. We will also master 10 everyday phrases that native speakers use to talk about perspective, resilience, and hidden success. So, open your heart, empty your mind, and let us dive right in. Let us begin with our story today about two young men named Ryan and Liam. Ryan and Liam were best friends and worked at the same logistics company. Their company was expanding globally, and the boss announced a major promotion for anyone who could speak English fluently. Both Ryan and Liam were very excited because they wanted a higher salary and a better life. However, there was a third co-worker named Mark. Mark was famous in the office for studying English day in and day out. Mark went to an evening center, listened to English tapes during lunch, and carried flashcards everywhere. After one full year of intense studying, Mark took a major international English exam. Everyone in the office waited anxiously for the results. Unfortunately, Mark failed the exam by just a few points. When the news broke out, Mark looked completely heartbroken and exhausted. He stopped talking about English, hid his books, and just focused on his regular work. Ryan looked at Mark and immediately jumped to conclusions. Ryan thought, Mark is a genius. He has a university degree and he worked so hard. If a guy like Mark can study for a year and still fail, what chance do I have? I am terrible at languages, and I don't have that much free time. Learning English must be an impossible task for regular people like us. So, Ryan decided to drop the idea completely. He did not buy a single book. He did not download any apps, and he stayed exactly where he was. But Liam looked at Mark's situation with a completely different perspective. Instead of just looking at the failed test score, Liam decided to talk to Mark. One afternoon, Liam sat down with Mark in the cafeteria and bought him a coffee. Liam said, "Mark, I heard about the exam, and I am truly sorry, but I want to know, do you regret all the time you spent studying?" Mark looked up, surprised by the question, and smiled softly. Mark said, "Liam, to be honest, failing the exam hurt my pride at first. But when I think about the past year, I realize I did not actually lose anything. Before I started studying, I could not understand a single word of an English email. Now I can read global news reports without any problems. Before, I was terrified when a foreign client called our office. Yesterday, a client from New York called, and I actually handled the problem by myself. I might have failed a written test on paper, but my real-world skills have improved massively. More than that, I proved to myself that I can be disciplined for 365 days. I built a powerful habit. I learned how to manage my time, and my mental stamina is stronger than ever. This failure is not the end of the road. It is just a stepping stone for my next attempt. I am going to take a short break, learn from my mistakes, and give it another shot." Liam listened to Mark's words and felt a wave of inspiration wash over him. He realized that Ryan was wrong, completely wrong. Ryan only saw a negative result on a piece of paper, but Liam saw the invisible muscles that Mark had built during the process. Mark did not fail. He grew. He gained confidence, resilience, and real experience that no one could ever take away from him. Liam thought, if Mark can gain so much value even from a setback, imagine what I can gain if I just try. So Liam started his English journey the very next morning. He did not worry about whether he would succeed or fail in the future. He just focused on the daily training of his mind. He took baby steps, listening to simple conversations for 15 minutes every day. Meanwhile, Ryan spent his evenings watching television, still believing that English was impossible. 2 years passed by very quickly. A massive international client visited their company for a major contract meeting. The foreign director stood up and asked a complex question to the office staff. Ryan froze up completely and looked down at his shoes, feeling deeply embarrassed. But Liam stood up calmly, smiled warmly, and answered the director in clear, simple English. He was not completely perfect, and he made a couple of small grammar mistakes. But his confidence was unshakable, and the director was incredibly impressed by his effort. A month later, Liam received the big promotion and a massive salary increase. Mark also passed his exam on his second try and became the manager of the global team. And what happened to Ryan? Ryan stayed in the exact same position with the exact same salary, full of regret. He realized too late that he had allowed someone else's temporary struggle to become his permanent limitation. This story teaches us a profound lesson about the human mind. When you look at someone who is struggling with English, do not mock them and do not fear their path. Understand that their struggle is a form of active meditation and character building. The person who tries to speak English and messes up is 10 times stronger than the person who sits in silence. The person who forgets a word today but tries again tomorrow is developing a superpower called grit. Grit is the ability to keep going when things are difficult and slow. When you practice English, nothing is ever truly wasted. Even if you forget the vocabulary, your brain cells are still creating new connections. Even if you fail a test, your mind is learning how to deal with pressure. The experience you get from trying is a priceless reward in itself. So stop looking at others and saying, "They couldn't do it, so I can't." Their journey is theirs, and your journey is yours. You have a different background, a different brain, and a different heart. Now let us analyze the rich, natural vocabulary used in this motivational story. These are phrases that native English speakers use every single day to express deep thoughts. The first expression is to jump to conclusions. This means to guess or judge something too quickly before you know all the facts. Ryan jumped to conclusions when he decided English was impossible just because Mark failed once. In daily life, you can say, "Don't jump to conclusions before you hear the whole story." And the second phrase is to see the full picture. This means to understand the entire situation, including the hidden details, not just the surface. Ryan did not see the full picture of Mark's incredible progress in speaking and reading. You can use it like this. Before you judge his actions, you need to see the full picture. The third expression is day in and day out. As we mentioned, this means doing something repeatedly every single day over a long period. Mark studied his English flashcards day in and day out. It emphasizes dedication and strong habits. The fourth phrase is a stepping stone. A stepping stone is an event or an experience that helps you make progress toward a larger goal. Mark viewed his test failure not as a wall, but as a stepping stone to future success. This is a highly positive and professional phrase to use in interviews or business. The fifth expression is to give it another shot. This means to try something one more time, especially after you did not succeed previously. Mark did not give up. He rested and decided to give the exam another shot. It sounds very encouraging and natural. The sixth phrase is to wash over someone. When a feeling washes over you, it means you suddenly feel it very strongly. In the story, a powerful wave of inspiration washed over Liam after talking to Mark. For example, you can say, "A sudden feeling of relief washed over me when I found my keys." The seventh word is grit. Grit is a beautiful noun that means courage, resolve, and strength of character. It is the psychological power that keeps you moving forward during a painful struggle. Native speakers respect people with grit more than people with pure talent. The eighth phrase is to freeze up. This means to become completely unable to speak or move because you are nervous or scared. Ryan froze up when the foreign director asked a question in the meeting room. It is a very vivid phrase to describe social anxiety or fear of speaking. The ninth expression is in the long run. This means relating to a long period of time in the future, rather than the immediate present. In the long run, the daily practice of English will completely transform your career. It helps people look past short-term pain and focus on long-term rewards. The 10th phrase is to be wasted. When an effort is wasted, it means it was spent carelessly or without any useful result. But as we learn today, no effort in language learning is ever truly wasted. Every mistake teaches your brain a valuable lesson. Let us practice these structures together to build your confidence and muscle memory. Please repeat these simple sentences out loud or silently in your mind. I will not jump to conclusions about my abilities. I need to see the full picture of my language journey. I am going to practice speaking English day in and day out. Every mistake I make is just a stepping stone to fluency. If I fail today, I will simply give it another shot tomorrow. A great sense of confidence is washing over me right now. I have the grit to overcome any language difficulty. I will not freeze up when I meet a native speaker. In the long run, my small daily efforts will definitely pay off. No time spent listening to English is ever wasted. Fantastic job. You are doing incredibly well. By completing this practice, you have already proven that you have more grit than most people. You did not let the length of this video scare you away. You chose to invest your time in changing your mindset and expanding your life. Always remember that success is not a straight, smooth line. Success is a messy staircase filled with stumbles, scratches, and falls. When you see someone tumble on that staircase, do not think the stairs are broken, and do not think that you will fall the exact same way. They are learning how to climb, and so are you. Be brave enough to make your own mistakes. Be strong enough to create your own results. The world does not need another person who sits on the sidelines and points at failures. The world needs you to step onto the field, face the challenge, and shine. Your future is waiting for you, and it is incredibly bright. Thank you so much for watching this motivational lesson until the very end. If this message touched your heart, please smash the like button right now. Subscribe to our channel to receive daily doses of inspiration and practical English tips. Leave a comment below and share with us. Have you ever let someone else's failure stop you? We are eager to read your thoughts and build a supportive community together. Keep your chin up, trust your own unique path, and never stop believing in yourself. We will see you in our next video. Goodbye for now and keep shining.